This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 29th day of April in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. In the aftermath of last evening's devastating fire, which completely gutted the Sharon's Mall building on King Street, the Home Affairs Ministry is reminding building owners of the need and the importance of having sprinklers and other fire prevention equipment installed at their buildings, especially those high-rise buildings. In a statement, the Home Affairs Ministry today said that there is the need for riser mains with hoses and fire sprinkler systems to be installed in new and tall buildings. The ministry said building inspections for electrical and fire safety compliance are mandatory for such buildings and must be diligently pursued. At the scene of the fire this morning, the business owners and the attorneys who lost their goods and belongings in the fire revisited the scene. Many of them were in disbelief as they gazed at the ashes and what used to be the Sharon's building. Hundreds of millions of dollars in equipment and goods went up in flames yesterday as fire gutted the building. When the fire service first responded, there was only smoke emanating from the building, but within 2 hours, large flames busted out of the building, quickly engulfing all 4 floors. The firemen tackled the blaze from several areas surrounding the building, but there was very little they could do to save the building as the fire gushed through the entire complex. The fire shattered the glass exterior of the building and sent flames high into the sky, with burning pieces sailing across to the street below and in the compound of the nearby High Court and other buildings. Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben, who was at the scene for more than 2 hours last evening, said it appeared as though the strength of the fire might have been underestimated initially.
That they may have thought that they had it under control, but that the reticulation, the wiring on the building, that it was obviously moving along that. It's moving along that between the floor and the drop ceilings. So where you see maybe from the time we got here, it suddenly got to another floor and suddenly got to this side, that is the issue. So if there's wiring with plastic or whatever shielding it, that is burning, along with any other flammable material around.
The Home Affairs Minister also said the fire appeared to have been moving along in some parts of the inside of the building while the firemen were focused on other parts.
It's a concrete and steel building with drop ceilings, and the fire is moving slowly along the reticulation, the conduits for electricity and water, and so it's burning along and onto other floors, between the floor itself and the drop ceilings, and that's what is making it difficult. So we're seeing it's getting gray and blacker, it's actually actively burning. Where it's gray or white, there's water being applied. So it's difficult, but they're working at it.
The Guyana Fire Service has not determined the cause of the fire, but it is suspected that it might have been electrical in origin, since there were earlier reports of a burning scent in the building from around mid-afternoon yesterday. More news coming up in just a moment.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
All the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion,
we are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
At Sosh Financial, we create strategies for strengthening business and personal finances while helping our clients to build sustainable wealth. Our financial and business consultancy services are uniquely tailored to ensure every client receives quality packages and optimal results. Our financial services include financial reporting and analysis, financial status assessment, internal audits, bookkeeping and records management, financial planning advice, tax returns. Our business advisory services are related to business plans, business startups, operational improvement, business management, document preparation, procedures development, efficient marketing. Call or WhatsApp us today for your free consultation on telephone number 592-665-6045. Sash Financial, strengthening businesses, building wealth.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Social media talk show host Gavin Matthews was arrested by the police this morning on accusations that he committed a cybercrime by using his talk show to cause emotional distress and humiliation to Minister of Youth, Sport and Culture Charles Ramson Jr. Matthews was arrested this morning at the Square of the Revolution while he was covering and participating in a small anti-government protest. He was streaming the protest live on social media for his Gavin Matthews talk show when the arrest was made. In the live video, a group of police officers could be seen coming out of two vehicles and surrounding Matthews to arrest and inform him of the allegations leveled against him by the government minister.
It is alleged that on the 25th of March 2021 at Georgetown, you used a computer system to publish a video on Facebook that is derogatory with intent to humiliate and embarrass or cause emotional distress to Charles Ramson Jr.
No, I don't know of such.
Sir, you are not obliged to say anything unless you wish to do so. Whatever you say will be put into writing and will be given as evidence against you in the court of law.
The police officer informed Matthews that he was under arrest and will be taken to the Brigdam police station to face questioning about the allegations made against him. Matthews' video recorded all of the police officers who were on the scene to arrest him, explaining that he was doing so just in case something should happen to him. He kept his Facebook Live video going as he was driven to the Brigdam police station. He questioned the officers in the vehicle about the allegations made against him.
What he said, I published a what? I published a video that is derogatory?
It is alleged, sir.
It is alleged?
Yes, I use the word that it's alleged.
So, hold on. So why am I under arrest for an alleged? I don't understand, really.
Investigation.
But the means the investigation isn't complete, so why are you taking me to the station?
You would have to assist us with the investigation.
assist you with investigation?
Yeah, the person who are investigating the matter, the person from the CID investigation department, sir.
From the CID what?
Investigation.
Oh, okay, all right, no problem.
At the Brickdam station, Matthews was taken to a department for questioning and asked to shut off his Facebook live stream. His attorney Darren Wade this afternoon spoke about the arrest and the situation.
Mr. Matthews was arrested earlier today. He was taken to Brickdam before he was brought here at the CID headquarters in relation to an allegation that he would have placed a video on Facebook to humiliate one Charles Ramson, who is the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports. In addition to that, 2 new allegations was placed to him since he arrived there in relation to Barrett Jack, the Vice President, and the President, Mr. Ali, in relation to him purportedly making statements that they are murderers and terrorists. I must say that my client would have denied all of these allegations. A video was shown to him, and at no time I could recall in that video he referred to Barrett Jack or Afon Ali as murderers or terrorists. What I can recall is Mr. Gavin Matthews making reference to Mr. Charles Ramson, rather.
Matthews is an outspoken critic of the government who has used his social media platform to openly criticize various members of the PP Civic administration. The death of 2 women today from coronavirus pushed the death toll for this month of April to 62. The overall death toll now stands at 295. 143 new cases of the virus were recorded today, pushing the number of active cases in the country to 1,685. The majority of the persons are in home isolation, more than 1,500 of them, and the authorities are pleading with them to stay home. There have been reports of persons who tested positive still venturing out of their homes to visit the marketplaces and other places.
So we need to understand the opportunity that we have before us, and we can exit this pandemic. But we can only do so if we are all immunized. I think for those persons who say that they're fed up wearing masks and abiding by all these rules, well, the faster you take the vaccine and encourage others to take the vaccine, the faster we will be able to, remove those rules, because by then we would reach herd immunity. But until we get to that point of herd immunity, there's not much else we can do.
And the situation continues to be worrying for health officials. There is also new concern tonight about a slight increase in imported cases. A number of persons who recently arrived in Guyana were tested positive for the virus, although they presented negative COVID-19 test results before traveling here. The airlines are expected to scrutinize the negative tests more, since it is suspected that some persons may be presenting bogus test results. With the number of new coronavirus cases rising steadily across the country and concern mounting in some communities about a low vaccination rate, the Ministry of Education has decided to keep schools closed for in-person learning. Education Minister Priya Manik Chan today said in-person classes will only take place for those students preparing for CXC exams who have been attending classes already.
We have been advised that at this point, given the numbers of both COVID infections as well as the rate of the vaccination process, that we will stay closed except for the classrooms that have already been open and have already returned to schools. So for the month of May, schools in Guyana will stay closed except for those classrooms that have already been reopened and have already been going back to school. At the end of May, I'm going to let you know what we will do in June.
And in a pitch to encourage persons to take the COVID-19 vaccine, Minister Manik Chan said while taking the vaccine is not mandatory, she would still want to see more persons taking it, especially parents and teachers.
If you have an interest in having our schools open, then you have to have an interest in making sure as many people as you can take the vaccine, because that's the only way we're going to change the picture of COVID. If you want to see your kids back in a classroom and you think that's good for them, then you need to take the vaccine as parents. If as teachers you're concerned about your children being out of school for so long, you need to take the vaccine as teachers. And so I'm appealing to all to let sense prevail and to use the opportunity provided by this government to get vaccinated.
Schools in Guyana have been closed for in-person learning since March of last year. Some schools conduct virtual classes, while others provide worksheets to assist the students with their studies. In the courts now, 2 weeks after pleading guilty to the lesser count of manslaughter for the gunning down of a Tamiri youth, Travis Evans, also known as Short Boss, was sentenced to life in prison today. Evans was on trial for the 2018 murder of Ronsley Clark. The 21-year-old man was shot dead in the full view of his girlfriend and other friends by Evans as he attended a birthday party in Sophia in August of 2018. The accused was arrested and committed to stand trial for the murder. When the matter came up in the High Court 2 weeks ago, Evans chose to enter a guilty plea to the lesser count of manslaughter, hoping that he would have gotten a reduced sentence. The trial judge, Justice Samuel Kissoon, handed down a life in prison sentence today virtually. The convict appeared shocked by the sentence and could be seen gazing in disbelief. He's also currently awaiting another murder trial and is also before the court on a rape allegation. A Susdyke man was today found guilty of bigamy and fined $100,000. If he fails to pay the fine, he will face 12 months in jail. The 35-year-old man, Michael Taylor, was charged for marrying one woman last year while he was still married to another. It was in May last year that the man's first wife filed a complaint after she noticed that he got married to someone else while the two of them were still legally together. The couple reportedly separated in late 2019, and within months the man was spotted tying the knot with his new love interest without divorcing his first love. During the trial, the husband told the court that he had no idea that he was still married to his first wife while he tied a knot with the second. He said he had been assured by the first wife that she was divorcing him.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, has put the country back in a total lockdown as coronavirus cases continue to climb in the Twin Island Republic. In the past 24 hours, Trinidad and Tobago recorded 328 new cases of COVID-19. The Prime Minister this afternoon announced several restrictions.
As of midnight tonight, all restaurants and bars will be closed. 2, all malls would be closed. 3, all places of worship would be closed. All gyms and fitness centers will be closed. All spas, hairdressing locations and beauty dispensing areas will be closed to the public. Casinos and betting houses, cinemas, theaters and clubs will be closed. The public service will operate on essential service only as per the regulations and the details that were spelled out the last time out. Further details will be available tomorrow, but the public service will operate on essential service only.
The Trinidadian Prime Minister said the existing laws in Trinidad would allow the police to intervene in private spaces to take action in the public health emergency. Rowley, who was a COVID-positive victim himself, but considers himself one of the lucky ones, said he met with a COVID response team this morning and reviewed the situation in the country regarding the COVID-19 infections. Ecuador's High Court has decriminalized abortion in cases of rape, which is seen as a major step in the traditionally Catholic country. The Constitutional Court voted 7-2 in favor of declaring 2 articles of the Penal Code unconstitutional. The decision came in response to a petition from women's rights groups and paves the way for parts of the legislation to be changed. Abortion remains a deeply divisive issue in Latin America, where countries have strict laws banning terminations. The only places where abortions are currently legal in the region are Argentina, Uruguay, Cuba, Guyana, and parts of Mexico. But terminations are allowed in cases of rape in several countries, including Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, and Panama, according to the advocacy group Center for Reproductive Rights. Ecuador's current legislation allows abortion only when the mother's life is in danger or after the rape of a woman with a mental disability. With the court ruling, abortion in all cases of pregnancy resulted from rape has been decriminalized. And finally tonight, international news. The United States has told its citizens to leave India as soon as possible as the country battles a devastating coronavirus wave. India reported 379,257 new infections today, the world's highest single-day total. The U.S. Embassy in India warned that access to all types of medical care is becoming severely limited in the country. The Level 4 Do Not Travel Advisory is the highest of its kind issued by the Department of State. The overall death toll in India officially surpassed 200,000 on Wednesday, though experts believe the actual number could be much higher. In the advisory, U.S. citizens were told not to travel to India or to leave as soon as it is safe to do so. Some U.S. citizens have reported being denied entry to hospitals due to a lack of space. The warning comes as the White House said the U.S. is redirecting its own order of the supplies needed to make the AstraZeneca vaccine, allowing India to make more than 20 million doses for its own use. The U.S. is also sending more than $100 million in supplies to India, including almost 1 million instant tests on a first flight. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.